Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm here to show off my entire Disney movie collection. Now this includes Walt Disney animated movies with, a few live action whatever, and Pixar films. This does not include Marvel or Star Wars or any other of Disney's subsidiaries. Just Walt Disney and Pixar. Those are the ones I'll be showing off. You can find the Marvel and Star Wars films in my complete movie collection, which I'll be doing at the end of this year. But for now, I thought it'd be cool to show you guys my entire Disney movie collection. So here we go. I have quite a lot of Disney DVDs. I do have a handful of Disney Blu-rays, but then I've also got all the Pixar films. So let's just get right on with Disney DVDs. First one we got is Alice in Wonderland, the Masterpiece Edition. I got this for $2. I watched it. I thought it was okay. Not the greatest. They definitely could have done better. But it's Disney. You can't go wrong with that. Next up, Beauty and the Beast. This is probably one of my favorite Disney animated movies. Just a fun movie to watch, and the music is fantastic. Beautiful animation as well. I'm pretty sure this got nominated for Best Picture for that year. This was like the first animated movie to get nominated for Best Picture. And I completely understand why this movie got nominated. It's such a good movie. I absolutely love it. I gotta pick up the Signature Collection at some point. So, Beauty and the Beast. Now, this is probably one of my guilty pleasures, bedtime stories. This is just wacky Adam Sandler movie. There's nothing special about this. It's just, I guess, fun to watch. It's terrible, but it's enjoyable to watch, I guess. So yeah, bedtime stories. Next up, Chicken Little. This is actually kind of underrated if you ask me. Great animation and just a really fun movie to watch. Cinderella. Not too great of a movie. Doesn't really hold up. I gotta check it out again. Next up, we got Disney Nature's Earth. I really love documentaries, especially ones about the ocean life and whatnot. But this kind of includes a whole encompassment of the entire Earth. I know that Disney's got a separate one for oceans, but this was just a really fascinating documentary, and I'm glad that Disney has put out documentaries like this. Really cool documentary, got it for really cheap. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Definitely worth your time. So yeah, Disney Nature's Earth. The Haunted Mansion. Used to love this movie as a kid, not so much anymore. Kind of a stupid movie. Now this is one of my favorites, Hercules. You can't go wrong with the music in this movie. I'll Go the Distance is just one of the best Disney songs ever. But really great animation and a really fun story for a Disney movie. The Kid. To be honest, I have no idea what this movie's about. We have had it, my dad has actually had this movie for the longest time ever, and it kind of got absorbed into my collection. So I really don't know what this movie's about. Maybe at some point I'll check it out. I don't know. Lilo and Stitch. This is one of my childhood favorites. For a while, I was told that this was the first movie I saw in theaters, but then I learned that it was actually Attack of the Clones. I was a little baby at that time, so I do not remember it. And I also don't even remember seeing this movie. But Stitch is just an awesome character. I used to have a little plush of the character, like I went to Disney World. How long ago would that be? 6 years ago? Went 6 years ago, got a little Stitch plush. Had him forever, but it's up in my attic now. Just a fun movie to watch, and I really love all the characters. So yeah, Lilo and Stitch. Now, The Lion King. Probably one of the greatest movies ever made, and probably one of the best animated movies ever made. Just a really, really well done movie. Some fantastic animation and some amazing songs. Just an outstanding movie. I really love this. Definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. So yeah, The Lion King. And then we've also got sequel, The Lion King 1.5. I have not seen this movie, but I definitely have to check it out because it's from the perspective of Pumbaa and Timon. That'll be fun to watch. So yeah, Lion King 1.5. The Little Mermaid, another one of my favorite Disney movies. Really great songs, great animation as well. Another great Disney movie. Then we've got National Treasure. This is actually National Treasure. This is actually a really fun movie to watch. It's definitely got some problems, but I really do have a lot of fun watching this movie. And then I have the sequel, the not-so-great sequel, National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. You guys can skip this movie. Yeah, you don't need to see the sequel. Just watch the first one. The first one's the better out of the two. Newsies. This used to be one of my favorite musicals. It's the more I watch it, it just kind of bogs down for me, I guess. But it's still got great performances and great songs. And I'm gonna have to see it again. So yeah, Newsies. Peter Pan, another one of my childhood favorites, another great Disney movie as well. We got Phineas and Ferb, the movie Across the Second Dimension. Phineas and Ferb is my favorite childhood show, and the movie was also really good. Definitely lived up to the show. Yeah, great movie. Then we got Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Kind of overrated if you ask me. I really like the movie, but not as much as other people like it. Then I've also got Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, which I thought it was okay. And then At World's End, which I actually really liked. I loved all of the action scenes. The score was actually not too bad, and the opening sequence to this movie was really great. So yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, At World's End. And then we got Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. I really need to change this artwork because it's all darkened, and it's got like an overnight rental sticker or whatever from Coburn's Princeton Video is where this came from. You can buy it for $7. Yeah, I gotta change the artwork for this because it's terrible. I also gotta replace the case. But hey, at least I have the movie. I still need to get the new one though. I'll do that at some point. Then we got Remember the Titans. Probably Denzel Washington's best role he's ever had. I've only seen a handful of movies from him, and this is probably his best. Remember the Titans, such a good movie. Definitely one of the best sports movies I've seen. So yeah, Remember the Titans. And another one of my favorite Disney movies, kind of underrated, Robin Hood. Really love this movie. You know, he sings a few songs throughout and some pretty great songs. Just a fun movie to watch, I guess. So yeah, Robin Hood. Then we got The Santa Claus, kind of a stupid movie. And then we've also got the sequel, Santa Claus 2. And we've got Tangled. This used to be one of my favorite, actually one of my favorite movies. Back when I saw this in, when did this come out? 2010. Wow. What was that? 7 years ago. This used to be one of my favorites 7 years ago. It's still good to this day. It's just not one of my favorite Disney movies, but still a really great movie. Then we got Tarzan, just an outstanding movie. Phil Collins' score is just what completely, makes this whole movie so darn good. I mean, besides the stunning animation and, the story, just the score is so good in this movie. Definitely one of Disney's best scores in any of their movies. And then finally for the DVDs, we got Tron Legacy. I probably should have bought the Blu-ray, but I really wanted to see this movie. I have seen the movie, but I really want to watch it on like HD. But that's not possible now that I own the DVD. But I just think it would be cool to view this movie, with all the colored lights and whatnot. I think it'd be a cool cinematic experience, I guess. But I bought the DVD, not the Blu-ray. But that's okay. I'm fine with DVDs. So yeah, Tron Legacy. So yeah, that does it for all of my DVDs for the Disneys. Now let's move on to Disney Blu-rays. This is my favorite Disney movie of all time, Aladdin. I just love the animation, the music, and what I love so much about this movie is Robin Williams is the genie. He just owns it. Just what a legend Robin Williams is. It's so sad that he had to go. But yeah, just what he did with the genie was so good. I saw the Broadway show a few weeks back. Fantastic show. Definitely see it if it's in your area. But I've also got some other connections with this movie, and it's just a perfect movie. What can I say? Next we got Bolt. Used to be one of my childhood favorites, or was one of my childhood favorites, but it's not one of my favorites anymore. It's okay. It's okay. Then we got Dumbo. I had the DVD of this, but then I decided to upgrade on Blu-ray. Still have not seen it on Blu-ray. Probably should get around to that sometime. So yeah, Dumbo. And let's just get out of the way. Frozen, yeah. I own it on Blu-ray. Who cares? And then we got Into the Woods. This is a pretty underrated movie, if you ask me. And I completely understand why people do not like the last 45 minutes of this movie. And for me, I don't really like that last 45 minutes either. But what this film did for the first hour and 15 minutes was just beautiful. The music was so good. Meryl Streep, she sang a song later on in the part I liked, and it's so good, guys. All the set production's very good. All the acting's very good. It's just a wonderful and magical movie. That's all I can really say. So yeah, Into the Woods. Next up, we got The Jungle Book. Really, really good movie. What Jon Favreau did with this movie was just amazing. Definitely one of the better, probably the best live-action Disney movie we've had. Really great movie. Next up, we got Mary Poppins. Just a magical movie to watch. You know, it definitely has that Disney spirit, I guess. Really great movie. Check it out if you haven't already. Next up, we got Moana. Definitely one of Disney's better films in recent years. I went with the 3D cover instead of the 2D. I just liked this cover better. But it completely deserves it because this is a fantastic movie. All the songs are really great and the animation is just stunning. Next up, we got Planes. To me, this isn't too great anymore. I just kind of view this as a ripoff of Cars. You know, because this isn't produced by Pixar, it's just Disney. Kind of a ripoff, if you ask me. Not too great anymore. Then we got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This movie probably has the best Blu-ray transfer I've ever seen besides the original Star Wars trilogy. Just such a good Blu-ray transfer. This movie was made back in, what, 1930-something? It was made in the 30s. I'm trying to find it. No, it doesn't say on here, but this movie I'm pretty sure was made in the 30s. You know, being Disney's first film, and it's just a wonderful movie. It's now some problems, but still fantastic movie. Next up, we got Tomorrowland. Kind of underrated. I really like this movie. Just Brad Bird's imaginative style of filmmaking really shines in this movie. It does have problems, I will say that. George Clooney, though, is really good in this movie. And just a fun movie to watch as well. Next up, we got Wreck-It Ralph, another one of Disney's better Disney films. Really great movie, a lot of fun to watch. And then finally, we have Zootopia. Another really great Disney movie, definitely one of my favorites as well. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Alright, so that's it for all the Disney Blu-rays. Now let's move on to my favorite part of this collection and my entire movie collection, my Pixar movies. You guys probably already know this. Pixar is my favorite animation studio. It's my favorite movie studio. And it's just all the films they put out are just magical and wonderful. There's not one I hate. Cars 2, I will say, is disappointing. But there's still a lot of cool things about that movie that I like. But nevertheless, let's just get on with it. Toy Story, awesome movie. Definitely was a game changer in animation. Such a good movie as well. A Bug's Life, probably one of Pixar's, or definitely one of Pixar's most underrated movies. I love the final confrontation between Flick and the Grasshoppers. Just a really emotional and empowering scene. I really like that part of the movie. Then we got Toy Story 2. This is my favorite Toy Story movie. It's just a lot of fun with all the characters. Next up, we got Monsters, Inc., another really great Pixar film. This used to be my favorite Pixar film that got overtaken by a different Pixar film, but still really great animation, and it looks fantastic on Blu-ray. Now, this is my favorite Pixar film, Finding Nemo. I just absolutely adore this movie. Just the score, its beautiful animation, its characters, its story, its emotion, it just all is so darn good. There's even a special feature on here. Where is it? It's called Aquarium, and it will on your TV, it will show you, you know, the sea anemone in, you know, the water, and it'll show the water, and it will have that playing on your TV for like 5 hours. And sometimes I just keep it on for for just a little ambiance, I guess. If I have people over and I occasionally will show them my room, I'll put that on just to kind of display my TV and whatnot. Just a fantastic special feature, and just a fantastic film. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it is my favorite Pixar film. So, next up we got The Incredibles. Now, don't hate me, kind of overrated. It's not one of my favorite anime movies, and it's definitely not my favorite Pixar film. It's more lower on the list. I'm sorry, I know. It's like everyone's favorite, but nevertheless, fantastic movie. I just love, just love the animation and just its style. It's all so cool. Definitely one of the best superhero movies ever. Such a cool movie. I really do enjoy it. Next up, we got Cars. This was my earliest experience. I remember going to the movies. I remember seeing a little preview for Chicken Little. Really cool movie. Definitely brings me back to my childhood. Next up, we got Ratatouille. Now, this is like the epitome of an original idea. A rat who can cook. He's under the chef hat and teaches and helps this guy cook. And how more original can you get than this? Such a cool movie. Beautiful animation. Just a great story. I really love that movie. And I also love this movie, WALL-E. Just an astounding movie. Yeah, what else can I say? Next up, we got Up. Now, everyone said this, but the first 10 minutes of this movie just wreck you. It's beautiful, guys. That scene, that little montage will go down in movie history as one of the greatest scenes ever, in my opinion. This is such a good movie, guys. There are so many moments throughout this movie where Carl has had to let things go from his, from his wife, like the chairs and eventually the house, and it's all so sad, and it definitely brings tears to my eyes. But this is a fantastic movie. There are a few fun scenes as well. Love all the characters. Just a perfect movie. So that's all I can say. Next up, we got Toy Story 3. Really love this movie. I really do like its kind of darker tone. It definitely was a bit intense for me as a 8-year-old. But it's a fantastic movie. Just all the themes and messages that come out of this, it's astounding. Next up, we have Cars 2. I do like this movie. I don't love it, but I like it. There are a lot of things to like about this movie. Animation's fantastic. It's a lot of fun to watch, but I also do not like Mater as the main character, and how this movie was all about spies and whatnot. But it's a fun movie to watch. I can have fun watching it. Yeah, just a fun movie. Next up, we got Brave. Also kind of one of my least favorite Pixar films, but it's got a great story, great animation, and a really great score. So, it definitely did its job. Next up, we have Monsters University, a worthy sequel to the original Monsters University. I really love this movie. This is probably the most fun I ever have with a Pixar film. I just love the college aspect of it. Great animation as well. I really like what they did with the characters. Inside Out. Just all I can say is it's a perfect movie. I love Inside Out. Such a good movie. And then we have The Good Dinosaur. Seriously, guys, this is Pixar's most underrated movie. I've got a full-size poster of this movie. That's how much I love this movie. It's not my favorite Pixar film, though, but I love this movie for just as much, I guess. It's got fantastic animation, a lot of really beautiful scenes, an amazing score, some really emotional scenes. It just does what a Pixar movie does, but in a better way, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, that's how it works. The Good Dinosaur, such a beautiful movie. Definitely overlooked. Just a fantastic movie. Also pretty underrated, Finding Dory. This movie was not necessary to make, but this seriously has Pixar's best score. I've listened to the soundtrack so many times, and there's so many tracks in that album that make me just feel different emotions and make me, think about, what film does for people and how it empowers and inspires others. But this movie has beautiful animation, a lot of really emotional scenes, and just, it empowers it so much, the score. Great characters as well. beautiful animation. What else can I say? And then we have Pixar's latest film, and that is Cars 3. Personally, I think this is the best Cars movie. It is my favorite Cars movie. I just think I think they finally got down with what a Cars movie should be. You know, it does include racing, but it's also got a really great story about Lightning McQueen. You know, there are newcomers coming into the game, and he's getting old and getting shoved out there. He's got to persevere and whatnot. Jackson Storm, though, as a villain, wasn't too, what's the word? Threatening, I guess. It's like, oh, he's getting this high score, you know, that's all. But still a great movie, beautiful animation, and I did see, like, the ending, like, a mile away. Huh? Car pun, whatever. But yeah, I did see the ending coming, but still a great movie. And then finally, we had the Pixar Short Films Collection, Volume 1. This is actually the Canadian release of the Blu-ray. I didn't realize that until I received it in the mail. But this has like all the original shorts up until Lifted. And this includes all of the best shorts as well, besides the Blue Umbrella, because that's my favorite Pixar short, but and Piper. But it's got some really great shorts in here, and definitely you gotta pick this up if you're a fan of Pixar. So yeah, guys, that is my Disney movie collection. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you want to see any other collections within my collections, you know, comment them in the comment section of this video. Hopefully by this Black Friday, I will be getting a lot more 4Ks, so I think I'll do a 4K collection after that. But I also kind of like to show off my you know, steelbooks and box sets and whatnot. I'd like to show those off if you guys are interested. And on a side note, since you know, since we're kind of talking about Black Friday, there is quite a lot of stuff I am planning on getting. So that does mean I will be returning 12 Angry Men on Criterion. I have really enjoyed having this in my collection for the past, past week? Yeah, so it's sad to have this go, but the Criterion collection always comes twice a year, so I'll have another chance to get this movie. But right now is not the best time. So I'm going to have to be returning that. So yeah, guys, that does it for this video. I'll see you guys next time.